Right. Hello, guys. Hello, it's High Priestess Jamila. Hello, hello. Hi. Hello, guys. So, how's you guys this week been? Um, I can't be here long because I've got some readings that I got to do, and then also I have some readings that I have to get recorded for the channel. But I've got to talk to you guys about something very important, and you guys are going to continue to see this trend. It's going to start happening more and more and more and more. Okay? Let me put the phone down because I don't want people directing their hatred towards me. We're going to put some salt. We're going to throw some salt out there. Okay, and some good vibes. We're going to ask Saint Michael to come and to protect me from any negative energies and bad spirits. Okay, and it's coming up all over the place like confirmation, and they said that we would survive this war, but they did not say it would be easy. So right now things are not easy. Okay, so I know that everybody is in an uproar about the Candace Owens video, and so I told you guys that this guy George Floyd is a evil person. I'm sorry, I told y'all that. I did. I came and I said it.
Brushing your teeth.
Okay, okay, honey. But you still did it though, right? Come here, come here.
I don't like brushing your tongue.
You don't like brushing your tongue? Well, you have to brush your tongue.
What? No.
Okay. Well, you don't want your breath to stink, do you? That's why you have to brush your tongue.
No, I don't want to brush your tongue.
Okay, honey. We'll talk about it later. Okay. Get up, baby. Get up. You want something to eat? Some cereal, something?
Yes.
Okay, baby. Okay, guys. So I noticed that I have been a little wheezy, a little just feeling like I have a cold. And I think it's because of all this stuff that they're burning in the environment, these freaking looters. These people that are rioting, they are literally setting cars on fire and just pretty much doing the most. And I believe that the air quality is not that good. So right now, guys, we need to like do the boils on the stove is what we need to do. Boil your onions, boil your garlic, boil your citrusy fruits. Okay, you can even throw a couple of bell peppers up in there and just put that on the stove and just boil it. Okay. Now, as I told y'all, and I'm going to ask Kali Ma to come and protect me from this man's evil spirit. I told you guys that George Floyd is evil. He's evil. His spirit is evil. His spirit is evil. You know who he kind of reminds me of is Candyman. Okay. Now, it just is what it is. Okay. Goddess is trying to protect children. Now, what is very interesting about the Candace Owens video is that she exposes how George Floyd, not that long ago, busted into a pregnant woman's house, saw that she was pregnant, and held a gun to her stomach. Okay. Give me a second, y'all.
Oh, 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 oh. I didn't put all stitches. Oh, that's
Okay. All right. So he went and held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach. Okay. I knew he was evil. Okay. Only an evil person would do that. I'm gonna tell you something. I have met many, many people in my day that man is evil. We are all inhaling toxins and gases because of this evil person and the things that he did. Now, now this is what I want to tell you. Okay, I believe that what we're going to see in the reading is that maybe George would have done harm to a child in the future. Okay, and he may have been taken out for racist reasons. There's things that happen in the underworld that we may see, but he is a bad person. Okay. George Floyd is an evil man. And I have been inhaling gases and fumes because they're in Atlanta burning stuff down. Please stop doing this for this evil man. Okay? Please believe that when you have an evil person, it's going to result in this kind of stuff. When a good person dies, people are peaceful, people are tearful, people are regretful, people got violent, people got angry. Your own people. Your own people, like I'm talking about your family members got violent. Men were getting violent against women, women against men. This man is evil. Okay? And they're working really, really hard to keep all black people dumbed down because the demon uses you. He was demonic. He was a bad person that was harming children. And this is the message that I've been telling y'all that through this whole thing, through the coronavirus. Now we done switch to George Floyd. It all points to children being harmed. And the fact that this is another example of how the goddess is going to protect women and children. Okay? You cannot go and hold a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach, probably cause this woman could what kind of he was a monster, sorry. And you know what they said, that his family members said that he was a gentle giant, but to other people he was the devil. He was evil. So that's just all it is to it. And I don't appreciate having to I'm about to say this to my government. Y'all need to be able, you know what? Stop letting black people do this. Stop letting black people do this, seriously. No, I don't understand why I should have to sit here and inhale toxic fumes from tear gas because you guys are defending this monster who harmed children. You know what? I was a killer. I was a murderer. I taught my children in the previous life how to murder people. But I always protected children and women. You don't do stuff like that. That is disgusting. It is disgusting. It is disgusting what happens everywhere when it comes to children. That's all I care about. You think I'm going to abandon all of these children that have been harmed by men like George Floyd so that I can go and fucking defend him? It will never happen. It will never happen. Okay? If you are a good person and you got trust in your spirit, you ain't got to never worry about nothing like what happened to George Floyd happening to you. George Floyd got his karma. He was high. He was on fentanyl, which means that he was dangerous. Okay?
Oh.
The fentanyl was probably gonna kill him before any police, any kind of police officer. I'm just telling y'all what I know. He was a drug addict. And unfortunately, drug addicts sometimes turn into these dark shells, violent, evil. Okay? So the man was evil. We've been going through all of this for days and days for an evil man who fooled us all. He was manipulating everybody. So I don't give a shit if you're white or black or purple or orange or blue or green. You hold a gun to a pregnant woman's belly, you'd never make good on it. You're thinking about trying to, because he was spending fake money. He was spending counterfeit money. Counterfeit money it's a very bad offense, just to let y'all know. Okay, we all usually get our money out of the ATM. ATM machines detect fake money. They put real money in ATM machines. If 9 times out of 10, if you got your shit together, you have a debit card and you go and you get money out of your ATM, okay, especially if you go to your regular bank, you're not going to have a counterfeit bill. So he was desperate for cash. He was getting ready to go and probably kill a child or do something to a child. He was capable of murder. And you know what? Another thing, what I can sense, what Spirit has been telling me, is that he's done things to children. Like it was something about children. See, this was what was hidden while y'all were being used to create more destruction. Okay, in your own lives for no reason for this evil ass man. Okay, I hope he rests in peace. But I doubt it if he will. But I tell you one damn thing. I'm gonna keep this fireplace going over here so I can banish his badass spirit off of out of my damn house, because he's all up and through everywhere. Like he's omnipresent like Jesus. He's a spirit. Okay? It's a spirit. And this damn thing been over here. It attacked my children 2 or 3 nights ago. Okay? 9 times out of 10, if you were arguing with your people, your family, your loved ones, it was George Floyd's messed up spirit. Now he's gone. Now I believe he's gone. They came and collected him. You know what I noticed about that video is that I almost thought it was fake because there was no orbs, there was no protection, there was nothing. It was almost like watching that evil man in the movie Ghost get carried away by those dark creatures down to the underworld. That's exactly what it was like. There was no angelic energy. You could even see angels in every single video. When you see stuff like that happening, you can see orbs, you can see protection. None of that was in that video. None of it, because there was nobody checking for him that day. He was abandoned by the spirits that day, including his mama. Including his mama. I'm sorry, y'all got to quit being stupid. Now, we're not talking about you know what I'm saying? We're not talking about somebody that we're not talking about somebody that would actually say, I'm sorry. He never purged himself of that sin, of the things that he committed crimes against children. He did. Why do you hate children so much? There's going to always be plenty of grown men walking around here with phalluses that you be willing to sacrifice innocent children. Well, guess what? These innocent children are protected. Hello? Everybody that defended that man probably has some sort of dark past. And guys, I know my familiar is at the front door, y'all. Okay, that's how I can tell that it's some crazy sinister stuff going on, because my familiar showed up. Let me show y'all. Let me show her to y'all.
Chibi.
Hey, baby. Come here, baby.
Oh, is Shrek a smell?
My familiar showed up, y'all.
You see him? Come on, you little kitty.
It's okay, baby. I gotta go get her some flea stuff because we
Come on,
saw some
kitty,
fleas on
kitty.
her.
Are you cold, kitty?
Yep, my familiar showed up. So that's how you can tell when something particularly dark is going on. Okay. I was actually breaking it down to somebody about how your old evil grandma, your old evil grandpa, your auntie, they into child sacrifice. Y'all see, that's the okay. Dark magic practitioners are not going to come on YouTube and advertise that they sacrifice children. You're not going to do that. And if you special and got spiritual gifts, they'll try to sacrifice your energy, your gifts, your light, your force, your life force, your energy. They will. Okay? So this is a very, very dark, deep, deep, dark secret that most people don't talk about. Even the practitioners that do it. This is one of the main things that I am removing from people as well as their children is your crazy ass mama who's demonically possessed, stupid, drugged out, drugged up on cholesterol medicine and blood pressure medicine, trying to sacrifice her beautiful grandbabies. Facts. I see it all the damn time. And spirit gets angry. The mother goddess gets angry. She is about to pull through a storm to clean up all of this. They need to stop doing the rioting and the looting and all of that stuff and the burning of all of these chemicals in the air because she'll send a flood. She will send a flood. Okay, water is feminine energy, and we're coming up on hurricane season, so they need to be careful because that's all that she knows how to do. I'm sorry, you can get mad at her, okay, all you want. You can get mad at her all you want. Sorry, guys. You can get mad at her all you want for what she's doing, but it's got to be done. It's got to be done. That's all it is to it, is that it has to be done. Okay, now I am gonna sit down and do a proper reading on George Floyd. Um, but he just wasn't a good man. He wasn't. He was a very bad man, very evil. He was addicted to drugs really bad. Yes, there were people in this world that loved him. Yes, his drug addiction did drive him crazy. Okay. We still have to protect our communities. He was probably getting ready to kill somebody important. They took him out. That happens when you about to kill somebody important. You ready to kill somebody, and either that baby or a woman or a man is very important to God. I told y'all that God will take you out before you even get there. God is woman. God is the mother earth. God is a woman. We'll find out. And you know what? I don't see how people can be so stupid to attack people's children. You know, most people will kill you over their kids. And you know what? I'd like to meet the woman that survived that. I'd like to meet the woman that survived that ordeal with him because she's very blessed by spirit because he was probably going to kill her and her baby that night. Y'all got to understand what kind of evil we dealing with out here. So this is not to say to give the police a pass and that they have free reign to just go and kill black people. No, that's not what I'm saying. See, that is something that you say when you are faced with a logical, spiritual connection to the situation. This is called logic, not emotion. This is looking at it from a logical, spiritual perspective. I'm not going to sing old Negro spirituals. I'm not going to do that because, see, the people that did that, they done lost their mind. Right now, at this point, we need to educate our people. You cannot hurt children. You can't do it. If you feel that you can hurt children, and see, I've been having to remove curses from children. Now, this is a fucking problem. That I've had mothers coming to me needing curses removed from their children. Unfortunately, since spiritually their family was so stupid, I have to remove the curse from them first before I can get to the children.
I lost it.
Okay? You have to remove them curses from the mother first before you can even, it won't matter. You remove it from the child, it's just going to bounce back on the child from the mother or the grandmother. Okay, they are sacrificing your little babies, is what they're doing.
Whoa.
And you can't never drop the ball. Even, you know what? You know what? If you have an invested interest in protecting your children, you even if your children made a mistake, but they ain't hurt no babies or nothing like that, and you gotta see what the problem was, because this was a bloody, we're gonna call it Bloody Floyd. He's gonna go down in history not as a martyr, but as a demon created. He's now a phantasm. His energy has now created a phantasm. Okay, so guys, whenever you get through, as soon as I heard Candace Owens say that he held a gun to a pregnant woman's belly. Imagine if somebody took a picture that night of that incident. You know what? God saw it. God saw it, took a picture of it, and said, we're going to deal with him later. And he never repented. He didn't feel bad for what he did to that woman. He didn't. He didn't feel bad for what he did to that woman. He wasn't sorry for what he did. Can you imagine being a pregnant woman and somebody holds a gun to your stomach? Might put you into labor. Your baby could die. You're not supposed to be attacking pregnant women. I don't know what's wrong with people these days. I've never been attacked while I was pregnant until I was pregnant with Jacob and I was being attacked online. Okay? So that man was evil at the end of the damn day, and it needed to be said, and I feel much better now that I've said it. We can all breathe now. I hope that they have stopped burning cars and stuff, because that stuff gets in the air. Now we're dealing with metal particles and smoke, and what they need to do is they need to just set some patchouli on fire and just burn it throughout the city, a big bonfire of patchouli and damn sage to get rid of his spirit out of that. You'll hurt yourself trying to protect him. Everybody knows that, especially if it's a really bad drug addict that's on a self-destructive pattern. You will destroy yourself and your entire family trying to help a person like that. And that's exactly what many of you are going to do. Y'all don't give a damn about y'all bills that was due. Y'all ain't paid y'all rent. Y'all ready to call y'all landlord and say, fuck it, I don't care no more. You're throwing your life away over some bullshit.
What?
And only somebody that truly cares about the world is going to tell you that. Only somebody that truly cares about you is going to tell you that. Anybody else is going to tell you different. It does not love you. They hate you. They want you to go jump off of a bridge, kill yourself, be so scared that you off yourself. Okay? I am going to examine the police department. I believe that I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I believe that this was a mercy killing, but not for George Floyd, but for who he was going to hurt very soon, which probably would have been that white lady. That white lady he was about to marry probably would have been her. You know what I'm saying? So I'll look and see who was in control of the police that day. It may have been God herself that day. That, it's the truth. You get mad at the truth, you get angry at Jamila. But guess what? This is the only way I can truly protect your families is by telling you the truth and not ever trying to for 1 second dumb you down. I'm gonna tell you the truth, the hard truth that you probably can't even handle. Yeah, I heard that he was a porn star too. Yeah, being a porn star is not evil, but we could see that he was willing to do anything for money. Obviously, from when he threatened to kill a mother and her child. You'd have, what kind of monster are you to do that? So he's gonna have to deal with that. He's gonna have to deal with his own redemption. You you can't redeem him, and he probably, that's gonna be for the spirits to decide what to do with him, because he was a bad person, and he was probably a threat to that white lady, and and I don't think they had children together. Nobody mentioned any children. He does have a daughter. Okay, he does have a daughter, and she's gonna have to know who her father was, who he truly was, the type of man that he was. If you would hold a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach, you would snatch a child off the street. If you would hold a gun to a woman's stomach, you would kill a child. But see, we all have been programmed to kill children via abortion and other means. So you're corrupted. If you are sitting there thinking about harming children, you are corrupted, and spirit will handle you. That is the message that we are all going to take home from this situation at the end of the day. And I don't give a damn if George Floyd was black, white, purple, or blue. He had to be dealt with in the physical, because he was a physical threat to people. He was a demon that somehow got through this world in the physical. Okay? Okay, Scorpio witch. He was a demon that materialized itself in the physical form and was terrorizing women and children. And you know what? If you have a loved one that's doing that and you're concerned about them and you're like, I know this person is a good person, hey, maybe they could be demonically possessed. I'm not talking about condemnation. I'm not talking about that. But see, he had plenty of time to get his shit together. His head wasn't right, and he had a white girlfriend, and even examining the picture of the two of them. Okay? This is unbelievably unreal. It just all looks fake. Okay? So that's why I was kind of perplexed. I was like, this don't seem right. Something ain't right. Okay, that man was evil. Exactly. And we all know it. We all could tell by looking at him. The first thing I thought about was Candy Man. He looked just like Candy Man from the movie. And I felt his spirit come through. This is the reason why people burn candles. They don't just burn candles to honor the person. They burn candles for protection from that spirit. Because even the sweetest people, if they die violently, they could get angry. Okay. I know that they said that Gabriel Fernandez's spirit was knocking over candles. Remember that? Because he had a lot of anger. He did, because he had lost his life on some bullshit. Okay. He did. And the bullshit was that it was so blatant in front of everybody's face. The bruises, the cuts, the wounds, the starvation was so obvious, and nobody fucking did anything. So he was angry. He was. Okay, so you'd have to be a medium to understand that. That's why his spirit sort of manifests as good. But then again, and that's with any deity. You know, Gabriel Fernandez, he he was more like an incarnated angel. And angels will fuck you up. Angels are not just nice. They will fuck you up if they have to. That's why people call them archons. Okay, because they're very zero tolerant. Okay, when they have a zero tolerance. How do you know he wouldn't have got her pregnant and threatened her? If you threaten one pregnant woman, you threaten him. Oh, well, he was just robbing somebody at the time, so he had to do what he had to do. That's what a bunch of ignorant motherfuckers would say. No, he was a horrible person. Okay, he fooled people, he tricked people, and he got exposed. Okay, do you really? For your next video, can you tell me what this strange noise is going on in the Texas sky? Sounds like screaming. Send me the video. I would love to look at that. That's what I live to do. Send me the video, like if you could text it to me, 770-686-7461. Yeah, slithering, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So, it just is what it is. And see, I've been having like trouble like breathing and stuff because of all of the particles and stuff that we're breathing in right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate the person that he was. I hated the misery that he created, the misery that he is creating now. The fact that people are actually burning cars on your behalf is so disgusting. Cars are already so harmful. Now we're inhaling this stuff. He could potentially make a lot of people sick. And the coronavirus is another thing that was related to this. It was related to harm of children. The coronavirus was all about the place in your heart that became disconnected from children got opened back up. That place in your heart that most people, because it's only a small percentage of people that actually give a shit about children. Otherwise, the rights of children completely lost in the system. They always talk about the rights of men, the rights of women, but children are our own category of their own, which is why I became the only child's rights activist. The only one that you saw on here fighting for children, and I got attacked, and they was coming for me. And it came in through spirit. So there was a lot of people, even, okay, if you were among the people that were a part of that did wrong, you can be forgiven. But you gotta own up to what you did. And you gotta at least admit it to the spirits. You don't have to turn on your camera and say this and say that, because people already know the truth. They can get that over here. But you have got to appease that spirit that is on you, that has to do with Jamila. It ain't just Jamila. It don't have shit to do with me. I know how to protect my children. I've been protected for years. It's about the children that are not protected. Okay? Jacob is looking at something, you guys. And so, yeah, I've been on and off wheezy and stuff. I've had to put on my humidifier. Yeah, it's pretty toxic right now because of him. His energy is very toxic. Okay, and we need to get spirit to let it rain so that it can clear out a lot of this stuff. It's okay, Hecate. You know what? I don't give a shit about myself right now. You know what? When I think about it, because it kicked into gear after Gabriel died and was killed the way that he was killed, I only care about him. I don't care about me. I'm fine. I'm fine. A lot of people were so disturbed by that special and that Netflix movie about him. The series was so telling. It was so gory, but you had to know the suffering that he went through. So I'd be willing to go through that for him. I went through that because I didn't go through a third of what he went through. My empathy is totally with these children that are suffering. Okay, adult and younger, but the younger ones are more vulnerable because they're little kids.
Oh my God.
Okay, obviously somebody, when you think about a little baby, when you think about an unborn baby, how vulnerable they are. So, I'm a grown ass person. I can take care of myself, but I don't have any marshmallow roots. I ran out, Scorpio Witch. I ran out. I do need some. I'll be okay though. It's just spirit, it's energy, and it's spirit. I can breathe. Okay, I know I can breathe, George. You didn't know you could breathe because you was on them drugs. So we all know we can breathe, George. He want everybody to believe that they can't breathe. We can breathe, honey. So it's a mind thing, and so he got people burning cars and gasoline and all this toxic stuff into our environment because he wants us to believe that we can't breathe. You shouldn't take your child to nothing like that. They snatching children at those events too. There is no way I would take my child anywhere near that situation where they're burning stuff and all that. No, you take your kids home. Okay? Take them home and give yourself some cleanses and say, you know what? We misjudged. We should have known better. The moment I looked at that, I said, this is either fake or something is going on. And spirit will eventually reveal the truth to you. And that's pretty much what happened. And now everybody want to come for Candace. Well, you know what? I'm pretty sure that she's protected. There's no way that I would go out there and say what she said, which took a lot of strength. There's no way I would go out there and say that. So the people that literally say what I say, because I know there's a lot of black women right now emotionally triggered, and they're like, no, it's wrong, Jamila, it's wrong. Okay? But I'm willing to protect you, and you don't even know how to protect yourself. So I'm willing to fight with you just to protect you. Okay? And I don't care. I'm going to tell you the truth. I am willing to have you upset with me for the better good of your family and for you. And that's all it is to it. You understand me? And I don't care if you get angry. You'll figure it out later. Okay? If you're a black male, this is for your children. When your daughters get older, do you want them to be walking down the street and have somebody like George Floyd threaten their motherhood? No, you don't. So I'm sorry. A lot of y'all just don't understand. You are going off of emotion. You're not looking at the situation for what it actually is. Okay? And I'm somebody that has been a bank robber and a thief. I was murdered by the police. So that means that my opinion right now is not biased. Okay? In fact, you can tell that I'm the total opposite of bias. Because for somebody to die in that way, just simply because I wanted to have a decent pair of shoes and a decent home to live in. Somebody that died like that was murdered in the previous life by the police, can say what I'm saying. It tells you that I'm 1000% unbiased. Okay? I'm more than biased. I'm sorry, than unbiased. I'm more than unbiased. I'm unbiased multiplied by 100 if I can sit up here and say this to you. So, it just all it is to it. And this is the first time ever I'm not permitting, anybody to kill black people. But, black people kill each other every day. Literally, all those murders that you hear about in the hood. That's because black people generally don't go to the popo like that. They handle their business usually. Hello? So if you found out that it's some pedophile in the neighborhood or something, and then he done went and did something disgusting, and the child came and told you, and you know that you can't really get justice in the courtroom, then they go out and they handle business. So black people execute each other all the time like that. I've seen black men kill other black men for this types of stuff. And yeah, you're supposed to protect the women. The women are we at home trying to cook dinner and get the house cleaned up and shit. And then you got some crazy fool on fentanyl. On fentanyl. He was going to kill somebody that night. He was going to kill somebody that night. He was. He was gonna murder somebody that night. He was high on fentanyl. He was out acting crazy. So and you know what? I'll look and see what the result of the trial is gonna be. You know what I'm saying? I'll look and see what that's gonna be. We'll do a reading on it. Yeah, he was. We have to bring, that's what a lot of women do. We bring about healing energy. So we have our job to do. Okay, we can't sit up here and but it makes it harder for us to do our job because we've got burning cars. When I looked at that picture of the burning car, I said, these people, I said, Mother Earth gonna get their ass. That's what I said. She already permits you to take the oil. She produces extra oil so that you can have oil for your vehicles. Okay. She don't mind you anointing your head with her oil. She don't mind you doing that either. Okay. She don't even mind you driving cars, these cars that are ran off of gasoline. Okay, because the ozone layer healed itself. Y'all notice that? But when you start to burn cars, she gonna have a problem with you. She gonna have a real problem with you. You destructive. And she's responsible for the air quality. You should care about the air quality of where you live. So you mean to tell me that because George Floyd was suicidal, you're gonna be suicidal with him? Okay? Yes, it was. It drained a lot of the collective. Yes, it did. And it's draining the collective's pockets. But that's okay because I don't even know why people always like when y'all start talking about debt, there is no debt. We're all billionaires on this planet. We're all billionaires. So all of that is gone. That's gone. You running around here with counterfeit money and not able to understand how to manifest instead of stealing from people, then the goddess is just gonna be like, is this person just stupid, or are they just stupid? Or are they stupid, or are they just extra stupid? Okay. Now, y'all need to go and cleanse yourselves. Okay, take a spiritual bath and you'll feel better. It'll pull all of that gunk out of your lungs, out of your body. In fact, do the boils on the stove, guys. Okay? No children. None of them. No more. I don't care if it's a single mother, if it's a crazy mother, if it's a whatever. You don't threaten children. You're done with that. I told y'all. I told y'all that. I told y'all this was happening. The coronavirus is all about child sacrifice. Spirit don't like it. Spirit ain't never told you to sacrifice children. Never. Never. That was a lie. And all of the, even some of the dark goddesses, even some of the dark goddesses, like Lilith. Lilith spoke to me personally and told me that she would never harm a child, that it was Adam's angels. Okay, everybody has their own angels. I have about 1 million of them. Okay, not just Saint Michael. They can do the same thing, not just Saint Raphael, not just Saint Gabriel. There's many of them. They have many different names. They don't even really have to have names. It's just angel. So Adam sent out his angels. Okay, but he said God's angels in the Bible because Adam was God. Your Lilith was God, Eve was God. Adam sent out his angels to kill one of Lilith's children or all of her children. And they were his children too. Plot twist. The children that Adam threatened were of his own seed. So that's where that murderous spirit came from, to where somebody would be willing to kill their own children, innocent children, just to prove a point or have control. And they actually showed it. Have y'all ever saw that movie Mama? Have y'all ever saw that movie Mama? That demon in the movie, the spirit of that woman that saved those two little girls in the woods. That was a depiction of the dark goddess of Lilith. Okay? Because that man was getting ready he had already killed his wife, they mama, and he took the children out into the woods to shoot them, and she saved those children. Okay, so she was a depiction of nature. That's why the children were, they ran around like little wild animals, because she raised them in the wild, because she was a representation of the dark earth goddess mother. Okay, so those were her children. Those were her children at the end of the day that she saved. Okay. And she wanted to get them away from that man, even though he was a good man, but he looked just like the man that had killed them, which was their father.
Oh my God.
The way that they made it look, however, in the movie was that the uncle he actually was the father, but maybe possibly in the spirit realm. So it just depends on how you look at the movie, how you take stuff. How does your brain comprehend it or process it? Okay. So yeah. So all of that is something that the spirit does not like. Prevents a lot of it. Otherwise, there would not be billions of people on this planet. If she was not working overtime the way that she was. Now, typically when a child gets harmed, it's because the mother doesn't mind it so much. So that's why whenever bad stuff happens to children, people do raise their eyebrow at the child, because the spirit of the child's mother is going to protect those children endlessly. Okay? It will. If you truly love your children, and which many mothers do love their children, okay? Many of them do love their children. Then your children are going to be safe. Okay? Not to say that those of you that have had things happen, that you don't. I'm not saying that you don't, but I do feel that there were times when there may have been things that you did need to, look at and pay attention to, that maybe perhaps that you didn't, that you need to wake up to. You know what I'm saying? Because it's getting more difficult to tame that beast. You can't just tame that beast. You have to destroy that beast and say no. Okay? Yeah, there's a specific spirit that hates children, and George Floyd had it on him. So, he's a baby killer. He's a child killer. He's a child sacrificer. Okay, he didn't have to hold a gun to that pregnant woman's stomach. That's pretty evil and diabolical. He was diabolical, okay? As what Fleurbrun would say, he was diabolical. Okay? Right. Right. He was definitely a thug. He was beyond a thug. He was beyond being a thug, Outer Banks, which he was on the next level, 33rd degree, um, um, probably Freemason. We saw the Masonic symbols. There's just to let you know, there's good bad, just like there's good Christians and bad Christians. There's also good Masons and there's bad Masons. You know what I'm saying? So it may have been a Masonic message, but I believe that the message ultimately was about doing harm to children. Period. And there are some that will. That's just like there's some people that come to me, I don't do miscarriage spells. I don't do work to attack people's children. I don't. But there's a lot of people that do. And see, this is a very, very deep, dark secret. Of course, dark practitioners are not going to come on here and say, yeah, if you are upset with somebody or if you have a child sacrifice, that I won't do a ritual to sacrifice that child's life. Typically, unless it is a blood sacrifice, okay? So a blood sacrifice, it can either be spiritual or physical or both. It usually is both. Of course, it's both, but many of you that have been sacrificed, your life has been taken and stolen from you. You have no love, you have no money, you have nothing. So they don't just sacrifice and kill the body, they kill your spirit. Okay? So they'll take your spirit. There's been many children's spirits that have been taken. Y'all act like these legends and these folklores are not true. It is the truth, and that is how a lot of voodoo and hoodoo works. It's folk magic. These are phantasms that were created through spirit and energy and intent, and they're very negative. Okay, and I don't work that way at all. At all. You ain't never got to worry about Jamila hurting your children, ever. Okay? Little man, hold on, y'all. Can you please take that upstairs? Thank you, sweetie. Oh, trust me, we about to do it. We doing it right now. Scorpio witch, we doing it right now. And all the witches is in here full circle. We got 10 thumbs up. We got an entire altar of witches right now. So we good. Don't worry about it. We doing it right now. There was a movie that I saw on Netflix with Robert De Niro in it. And in this movie, I can't think of the name of it, but he's married to this woman and she threatens to leave him. He promptly goes into the room, and I think he either holds the child out over a window or something to make her not leave him. Spirits watching you do stuff like that. They there. Oh, just because you can't see them don't mean that they not there. So be kind to children because they are innocent. Children are innocent. Okay? They are. Whenever you get through, even if it's an evil child, the child has probably been possessed. Okay, now we all know that we all saw the Omen. Okay, but again, this came out of Catholicism. That's why they didn't kill that child in the Omen. That's why the child remained protected. You notice in every Omen, that child never is killed. And it's important for y'all to understand that. A lot of y'all be ready to kill your children and they need exorcisms. Please just take your child to somebody that knows how to fix them and knows how to heal them. I've been around possessed children that have needed exorcisms and needed cleanses and needed herbal treatments and remedies. Okay. And you don't have to make them yourself. You can actually go to many of these places. These herbal shops have them all the time. You can possibly even find them at the pharmacy now. Okay. So you know, and even an adult, okay, an adult is a grown up child. You know, George Floyd. You know, there's a lot of people that will say, well, he was possessed. So then doesn't the protection lie upon him? Well, he was too much of a physical threat to children and women. Okay, and I don't know about y'all, but his fiance, that white lady, she looked like a domestic violent victim. She looked like somebody had been beat up a couple of times. I don't know why her spirit or her vibe just, told me that she was maybe really submissive and that maybe, he had been beating on her. So we'll find out in the reading because we'll look at it in the reading, but we're really reading him right now. But we'll let the cards prove it. Okay. Okay, now we're at a crossroads. Because we got 11 upvotes, so a portal done opened. And if we do need to live in a world where we don't have to worry about things like this happening to children. We do. It's been going on for quite some time. It has been. It has been going on for quite some time, but it is so hidden. It is so hidden from plain sight. It's in your face, but at the same time, what really goes on and what's really happening, okay, especially at them abortion clinics, guys. Okay. It's child sacrifice. Now, many of us, the reason why we probably, which is still ridiculous, because you think that just because something is really, really small that it doesn't mean anything. Well, why is it that a little bitty tiny virus cell can enter into your body and tell it to destroy itself? So stop taking things for granted. Just because something is really, really small doesn't mean that it's not important. Okay? Just because it's a little tiny baby that's big as a thumb or the tip of your finger doesn't mean that it's not important. Because the gods truly do cry when it comes to that. It really is horrible because the life is being snuffed out of that child. Okay. Now, when it comes to killing children that are out of the womb, same thing. It doesn't matter what the size is. So that's one of the reasons why we take children for granted, because they're smaller. And see, that's not how we think normally as human beings. We actually think of the child as being more precious and that the child should be protected even more because it's small. But for some reason, things are backwards. Why is that? Because you have been corrupted. All systems were corrupted and all of them have to be fixed. Okay, we rely on other people to protect our children, and we don't take the responsibility to protect them the way that we know how. So instead, we make a big deal and we scapegoat, and we say that the problems of society are caused by pedophiles running CPS or some shit like that. But yet, well, yeah, that's a problem. But the problem is at home. The problem is that people are dumbed down in general when it comes to morals and ethics. There is no moral code. You were taught the opposite of morals at some point, as a general in society. So this is a reality that many of us are going to have to face, starting with the smallest thing, which is the biggest elephant in the room. Okay? And it's murder and it's child sacrifice. And if you were actually smart and understood the universe and how God actually worked, then you would stop looking at children as burdens. Okay? So that's why they do what they do, because when a baby is coming into the world, instead of them realizing that it's a blessing, they'll look at it as a burden. But that's, you messed up from there anyway. So that thought process is going to lead to many children being neglected. Okay? Neglected children. Oh, this is too much. I can't handle this. This is too much. There ain't never a day that I wake up and feel like I can't handle what I have to do for my children. There's never a day. So I don't want to hear no excuses from nobody. Okay, but they do it and they scapegoat and they scapegoat, and there's no escaping this reality. It's over. You're going to have it right in your face. Okay, so when they had Candace do what she did, the details were very astonishing. That one part when she said that he held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach, that's just like, because the pregnant stomach is round, like the earth is round, not flat, it's round, okay? Just like the pregnant woman's stomach, okay? It is symbolic of the world, of Mother Earth, of Mami Wata, of Mama Yemiya, of Mother Earth. So he was a threat to the earth. And any man like him, whether or not white or black, you hold a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach and spirit gonna come for you. Eventually spirit gonna find you. Okay? So right now he's still a threat to the earth because we're breathing in all of this crap. And you know what? I truly do hope that he goes through the whole thing and becomes purified and becomes a better person in the next lifetime. Maybe because he definitely had a will to live. It was a very small will to live, because if you're doing fentanyl, you don't care too much about yourself, okay? Now, this is a problem. And more women are saying, I don't care about that black man being brutalized by the police until we figure out why these children are coming up missing, why they're coming up dead. Well, we already know why they're dead, why they're coming up dead, because they're sacrificing them. And if they're missing, they're being used in some kind of disgusting, ritual, or something like that. And this is something I've been exposing for years. I've been talking about this for years. Okay. And it's sad that there are some children that are raised and all they are exposed to is the humiliation rituals, the beating rituals. They're never exposed to communing with the heaven and the earth. They're never exposed to the full moon and the energies of the full moon. They're never exposed to the wonderful, prosperous, and protective side of magic. Okay, and so there are a lot of us that are witches that raise our children with that wisdom, and the children are okay. They're more than okay. They're not threatened. They are experiencing the light, or what y'all call love and light. But instead, especially over there in Africa, You want to fix the motherland? Clean it up then. Clean, drain the swamp. That's how you clean up Africa. Is you drain the swamp. They do child sacrifices over there all the time. Why should this child have to be sacrificed? Because again, there's a demon. I've been saying this for years. Okay, it feeds off of that. It feeds off of the suffering, the blood. Okay, the earth does not feed off of the blood of children. Y'all are mistakenly confused. Any burial grounds or any ritual ground that was desecrated in that way, people can barely live on that ground to this day. Okay, hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. I had to get that. So, I think that's one of the most horrific things is to wake up in the morning and you hear about something happening to an innocent child, and then especially if you've been around children and you know how innocent they are, like they just really are very trusting, and they're looking for somebody to look out for them. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I need to get some of that Scorpio witch. I need to get some of that elderberry syrup. But you know what's been helping me is that wormwood. Wormwood is really good too. Okay, but you can do wormwood and the elderberries. I think I actually have some elderberries. They're just not labeled. I think I have some, you guys. You got a big jar of the wormwood. Yeah, guys, I got to get my herbs. My herbs have got to be kept up better. I'm gonna start investing in those little jars with the suction lids to keep my. I mean, you can use I guess but I'd like to get the ones that just have like the little thing you press down, and I want to keep my herbs like that instead of keeping them in those little plastic bags, and I want to keep them in glass containers. So I'm gonna be investing in that because I'm actually gonna start fixing up my apothecary. I think I always feel like I'm pronouncing that name wrong. I want to get like a white cupboard for the kitchen, and I'm gonna get a dining room set. I want a round white one, but I really want to get like a vintage one. And so I don't know. It's probably gonna be pretty expensive, but I do want to get that, get my apothecary fixed up and everything, and so I can have places to like keep all of my herbs kind of partially in the kitchen and partially in my altar room. So I'm gonna be doing that real soon. Okay, real soon. Yes. But yeah, but I love all people. I love black people. I will always love black people. I will always love white people. I will always love everybody. But when you are a bad element, you're just a bad element. And the problem was that I think that this guy just had a drug problem, and I feel that on some level he got karma. I feel that it was karma paying him back. That's really how I feel. And I'm never gonna lie just so that I can agree with a bunch of people. I'd rather face the diversity. I would rather tell the truth about a situation than to lie and continue to cause more harm. I cannot do that. I'm much too honest of a person. So, I think that we've all been harmed by lies, and people just not being honest and telling the truth. It happens all the time. And so I'm just saying, yeah, it's okay for you to be upset if racism happens. Of course, you know what I'm saying. I personally think that you're doing yourself a disservice for you to allow that to hold on to your emotions. So every single time something happens that's related to racism, you get knocked off of your path, and so that can be the perfect distraction. So I'm not bothered by racism anymore. I really am. I'm really not. Because if you let it control you, then that's all it's going to do is control you. Then the media can just control you. People in social media will be able to control you. So it wasn't even about, like the other day with the whole Blackout Tuesday, it wasn't even about it being about black people. It was about the media or either social media trying to get you on another frequency when I was already on my own frequency. And I had a very, very, oh, and by the way, my patrons, you guys are going to get to see that today. Spirit is like, kind of like, why you ain't showed it yet, because people need to see the rainbow. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna say to y'all. And I got another ritual that I'm gonna be offering very soon, having to do with your birthright. Okay, and so I'm gonna be talking to you guys more about that, because a lot of this stuff that was put on you even before, some of you may have been bred just to be sacrificed. They do breed sacrifices. Well, guess what? You're not doing that. You're not doing that anymore. Breeding sacrifices. Nah, we not doing that no more. It's cruel, it's evil, and it ain't going down on Mother Earth's earth no more. This is her territory that you own. Okay, so many of you, people out there that are so spiritually gifted and just wonderful people, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you have issues, underneath it all, you're just a wonderful person that, people are going to love. Many of you guys were raised, taught, and programmed to do a lot of the things that you're doing that is destroying yourself and other people around you. So you were bred that way. And your mother may have given birth to you for that purpose or just to be a blood sacrifice. Those are the people that I save. Those are the cases that I deal with. And I'm honored to do that. I'm not going to go into detail about all of my cases because I don't do that. But I do a lot of hard cases. Okay, so I work with children, whether or not you're a mother of a child that is being sacrificed by your mother or either their father, or you are a grown sacrifice. So many of you guys are grown sacrifices. You are adult sacrifices that was born to die for some stupid ass reason. It wasn't meant for you to live your life. They didn't, not it wasn't meant. It was meant for you to have a life. But somebody else decided that they were going to puppeteer your life. And this is how you ended up where you was at in life. This is why you've been going through it. Because in reality, they didn't want you to do anything. They didn't want you to have happiness, protection, and peace. You were born to go through horrible things. You were born to hurt. You were born for people to abandon you over and over again. You were born to be beat up. You were born to go through all of that, to be used and abused, so that that demon would be happy and could feed off of your confusion and your pain. I have the mental picture in my head of the child that was literally strewn about, thrown about. Okay, now here's another thing. We got to quit valuing just the men, because there was a baby called baby Brianna that was murdered. And it's a baby. Imagine being an innocent little baby being tossed up to the ceiling, raped, beaten, bitten, burned. So I will always have Brianna on my heart, just like I have Gabriel on my heart. Can you imagine how confused? I think that was the most heinous thing. So, Gabriel's murder was actually not the most heinous. Okay, it's happened even to little babies that can't defend themselves at all. They can't walk and they can't talk, but yet they're being abused. Imagine that. So, this is what I have to deal with as an empath when I hear about this sick shit. I have to go through that and feel what that baby felt, and the fact that angels showed up and just said, I'm going to take you into my arms so that you don't have to experience that, so that you don't have to suffer. Angels do it all the time. They do it all the time. But unfortunately, there is suffering. Unfortunately. So I've been dealing with this for years. When I first started going through Ascension, I ran across tons of videos on YouTube, and it was the most painful experience of my life. I think I cried until my chest hurt for 2 days straight. Okay, and I couldn't breathe. Imagine being a little baby being suffocated or being raped by a grown ass man. They can't breathe. When a grown ass man is raping a little baby. So I have my empathy and my protection goes to them. Now, I don't believe that it's right to absolutely, if you are being unfairly persecuted for something that you did not do, yeah, our protection goes to that person too. For example, what I went through, you know what I'm saying? But that entire time, what spirit made me do was to feel more empathy for the children that those people wanted to hurt, not them. I don't feel empathy for the parasites and the pedophiles and the fucking baby killers. I don't feel empathy for you because you could have changed yourself at any moment. Okay? You could have made a difference in your own life. I understand that many of those people were probably abused as children them damn self. Okay? But to be honest with you, the statistics are startling. They are so clear at how most child abusers and pedophiles, they weren't even abused as children. They wasn't abused as children. Most people that were abused as children, they usually want to protect children, and they will protect their own children, like almost overprotective of their own children. So that's actually not even true either. The statistics are that these sociopaths and child killers, they actually grow up in stable homes, homes with money too sometimes. Homes where they were, coddled and loved. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We done seen it. Okay, we saw it in I love American Horror Story. I like that one. And it's not that, but it's the truth. Art imitates life. So y'all know the American Horror Story with the circus, when they were doing the circus through the freak show. And old girl with the red hair, I love her. She was in 6 Feet Under. And she played the mom in 6 Feet Under. I don't know why I can't remember her actual real name, but her son, she spoiled him, she coddled him, but she had to hide dead bodies because he was killing folks. Okay, so y'all always think that, you know what I'm saying, that don't produce that. Okay. And sometimes it can be somebody. I think personally, it's all about what your fate or your destiny is personally. You know what I'm saying? So, mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that show is brilliant. Okay, I've been meaning to do more research on the person that actually produces it and creates it, because I think that this person, whoever it is, is definitely smarter than the average person, you know what I'm saying, in the population, because that should be real deep on there, okay? All of them are symbolic. One of my favorite ones was Asylum too. And so that one as well. And then another one, of course, I love Covenant and Apocalypse is my new favorite. So yeah, me too. Me too, unapologetic Ella. So, all of us women that know the truth, yes, we do love men. No, we do not hate men. We're gonna make sure that we protect the men in our lives, but we are gonna join hands to protect the men in our lives because this whole situation was a direct threat to the men in our lives. And y'all know that the past few days, your sons were threatened. And for me, I'm not gonna turn against my son. Now that's one thing I'd be like, no, 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 no. So the dark goddess, I will tell you that there are some of these dark goddesses out here, boy. But we gotta regulate that. Like we can't just, like kill them all and all that. No, y'all, we got to be smart about this now, seriously, because that's gonna create more problems. Because all men are not bad. You know what I'm saying? That's just like all black men are not bad. All men are not bad. Yeah, some of them are just bastards and you know what I'm saying? But they don't, spirit is still working with them. They still working on them. So, we not gonna be condemning everybody for the actions of others. And that's one thing that we have to remember as a group as well. Okay. Yeah, yeah, you have three sons, and I'm sure you love all of them, and they love you, them sons. And see, so this is the reason why. And you know what? Gotis, his name is Fringe. It's a Russian thing. He actually put up a video where he was talking about uh, religion and how the son, Jesus, is the son, and Mary, mother, they were talking about, for some reason, a lot of people are talking about Jesus and Mother Mary Magdalene, because I was actually talking about her the other day. And even more attacks came in after that. Immediately after I got done talking about that, which I don't regret it because, I'm going to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Okay. So after I talked about that, an extremely negative force came through. And I had some situations I had to deal with, you know what I'm saying? But I got through it. And I'm, you know what I'm saying? And I've, sometimes you have to, go through stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like when you telling the truth about something, people don't like it when you telling the truth about something that I said that Jesus, died for his mother. And I'm even kind of nervous about even saying it right now that Jesus didn't die for their sins, because Jesus was a sacrifice. And when you tell them that Jesus didn't die for their sins, then that goes against their belief system of him being the sacrifice. So Jesus was not only the sacrifice, but Jesus is also factually the Antichrist. Peep it all, honey. Peep it all. Because, you think Jesus woke up that morning wanting to die? He didn't have plans of dying that day. But if he had to face death, he would face it, and he would be brave and strong about it, right? Okay. So Jesus had to face death that day because he was defending Mary's womb, the womb of the mother, which is also earth. Okay, so however way you look at it, we are still manifestations of Jesus, of Mother Mary. But Mother Mary, I'm not going to really get into a lot of detail about her because I am not the depiction of Mother Mary. I'm not. I am more of a Lilith prototype. I am, trust me. Okay, I'm considered a bad girl. I'm not a Mother Mary type, and I don't pretend to be. Okay, in fact, I'm very sacrilegious. I will wear a nun's costume on Halloween. I am very sacrilegious. So I'm not gonna come on here and try to act like I'm just, Miss Purity. No, 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 no. But I will tell you that I am a good person. Okay. And Lilith is a good person. You know what I'm saying? Many of the things that they have condemned us for is our natural human instincts. So when you think about it, this particular thought process, which actually turned into folklore as well as some of the folk magic. Okay. But in hindsight, high magic, real magic is above a lot of that. And it says, no way, Jose, is what it says. It says, no way, Jose. Okay, so anyway, guys, I love you guys. I gotta go. I gotta tell you guys about my new diet. I gotta come and tell y'all about it. It's amazing. So this way I will feel very, very balanced. And I think you guys are gonna love it, even though a lot of people are gonna say, well, you're not really being ethical. But I was gonna talk to y'all about how I plan to make sure that I'm balanced and that I'm keeping my health intact. Okay. And so yeah, guys. Anyway, I love you guys. Happy Thursday. I gotta go because I have a feeling that somebody's calling me for a reading. I probably am scheduled for a reading. I didn't get my notification, but hey, Jacretia, how are you? Okay, guys, I love you guys. Love and light. Love you, Scorpio witch. I'll see y'all later. I love all y'all witches. Okay, let's keep joining hands and protecting the men that we love, including from these toxic men out here, because these toxic men, they'll kill up all of our men and our sons. They will. So, anyway, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.